Welcome to the Nifty Chicks. In this episode, we have Miss Teen Crypto with us to talk about her journey into crypto, what she's doing to move towards mass adoption, and her biggest piece of advice for new people entering the space. Let's do this.
Okay, welcome to the Nifty Chicks. I am super excited. This week we have Miss Teen Crypto. She is the host of the Miss Teen Crypto YouTube show that you can also find on Twitch and Twitter. So welcome to the show. We're excited to have you here today.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm really excited to talk with you guys.
It's fun to have a fellow YouTuber on with us.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like I know I was talking to Joel Cum at NFT NYC and he's telling me all about you guys and I just really had to meet you. So I'm happy we're here at this point.
I know. I'm bummed that we didn't get to actually meet in person in New York.
Right.
But
shame.
Oh well. I know. So my curiosity is, I mean, you're a teen who got into crypto. What brought you into crypto? How'd you fall into this world?
Well, my dad was actually telling me about crypto for the past 6 years. So when I was 13, I'm 19 now. When I was 13, I was first hearing about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And at first I didn't pay attention because I didn't think it was something I could use. I just thought it was like stocks, adult things, numbers, things I didn't really have interest in, to be honest. And then when I was around 16, we did my first Bitcoin transaction and I saw how easy it was to use. All you have to do is scan a QR code, copy and paste an address. Anyone, anywhere in the world, as long as you have an internet connection, can instantaneously receive funds or transfer value. So that really blew my mind because I was just like, oh, wow, okay, I could go to the store and they could potentially scan my phone or I scan a QR code and I leave without having to do the whole fiat interaction. Because I don't know about you guys, but my friends throw their pennies in the garbage. So I felt like this could solve a problem.
So true.
I do know that feeling. And I don't typically throw my pennies in the garbage. But I mean, if one drops on the ground, I'm not going to take the time to bend over and pick it up.
Right? Except if you feel like it's lucky.
Right.
So true.
So what are your friends like when you got into this? What did your friends think? Were they like, you're crazy? Or were they on board?
Yeah. It was really hard at the beginning. I'm not going to lie. I was always very like nerdy in school. So like people like just thought I was just like going on like some other weird path. And people really didn't understand at first. Cause when I first started talking about Bitcoin was like late 2019, early 2020. So before I made my Twitter, I was telling people about like my friends. They didn't understand it. They thought I was really crazy. Like, why am I into all this like internet money stuff and NFTs? They didn't understand. So it was hard at first. But then, after a year getting out of high school, 2 years later, a lot of them are actually hitting me up asking for help and things like that. So the tides are turning. It's really cool.
So that's so interesting because I would have thought that they would be like people of your generation. I feel like would be like earlier into it and excited about it.
Yeah. I think there were also some like predispositions, like when it had to do with crypto, especially because a lot of parents were not like approved. Like they didn't necessarily like the parents were just telling them something different. And then there were also teachers that, found out about my social media and weren't fans of it. And they thought Bitcoin was a Ponzi. I was told to delete my Twitter and things like that. So it was just the people that were educating. Wow. Yeah, the people that were trying to educate were the people that weren't doing education for themselves. And I was just like, wow, okay, like, do you want me to take the time? I was like, I will sit with you. I'll explain it and see how it works. And they just didn't have interest. But then I do give like my school credit because my principal wasn't exactly on board at the start. And then, less than a year after graduating in May, I think it was May 1st, I went back to my high school and taught 2 investing classes about Bitcoin. So people are coming around,
That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so great. I want to hear about so you have thousands of followers on YouTube, 50 something thousand followers on Twitter, thousands on Instagram. Like what is it like to be, I think, not only like an influencer, I think is the right term, but also an influencer in such a new and evolving and exciting space?
Well, I think it's very fun to take part in this space. you know, at first I didn't really picture like, yeah, I just wanted to tweet. I just wanted to be a part of the community. And I feel like that's what I'm just doing now, is being a part of that community and pushing adoption. Like that's what I really want to do. Like my main goal is to spread crypto and NFT adoption to Gen Z and educate the masses and the world on cryptocurrency and NFTs. And I know it's like a crazy mission, but I really want to do that because I feel that, you know, this is so important and this is a revolution, and I just wanted to be a part of it. So every day, that's what I try to do, whether that's like my show, hitting the streets, trying to interview strangers about Bitcoin, or 1 to 2 minute educational videos, or streaming NFT gaming, just anything I could do to get that message out there is what I'm going to do. And it's because of like, you know, my community, the people that support me, that I'm able to do that. So I'm very grateful.
Okay, I have to know more. So you're going out on the streets and just walking up to strangers and being like, hey, what do you know about Bitcoin?
Pretty much, yeah. So I've been doing this since November 2020. I've been going up to strangers in New York City. That's where I'm based. And I go to Times Square, Washington Square Park, just like any place I'm really feeling the vibe of that day. Or, you know, I could be in Miami, LA, like wherever I'm at, I try to do interviews. And I like just talking to people on the street, because when you're in this space, I'm sure you guys feel this way as well. It's just, you feel like, why isn't Bitcoin mainstream? Like everyone should know about this. Everyone knows about NFTs. But when you step outside of that circle, you see where the mainstream's really at. So that's really why I like hitting the streets, just to see where people are at. Who knows about Bitcoin? Are we getting farther in adoption? It helps me gauge.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
I love that. So are you talking to people about NFTs too?
Actually, you know, it depends, because talking about Bitcoin is still very hard. You know, like we're so early. When I hit the streets, it really like humbles, like, you know, your opinion on where we're at, because, you know, we are going very fast and the space is making headway. Like adoption is going crazy. But at the same time, maybe less than 5% of the world owns Bitcoin. So we're still extremely early, and, you know, hitting the streets, it's hard. Like I talk about Bitcoin, and that's a great start, because at the first, people didn't even know what Bitcoin was. Now people know what Bitcoin is. Now I'm like, oh, do you own any? What do you know about Bitcoin? And then a few people that are actually in the space, like I found, I do start talking about NFTs. I actually leave NFTs in Times Square as well for people to come find.
Nice. Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, I think it's interesting, because we are seeing definitely more of an adoption, but I think we have so much more to go. And I think a lot of people are afraid of it, about the risks associated with investing in crypto, changing what feels so comfortable of like a dollar bill to, you know, a percentage, a 0.000% of Bitcoin. So how do you balance like not only educating people about the benefits and like the future of Bitcoin and crypto, but also balancing like that there are risks associated? How do you do that?
Well, I think, you know, what I try to do is educate more about the technology and what's going on in the space. I think, you know, a general thing I always say is that there's a lot of risk involved in traditional markets as well. Like, you know, some stocks are getting crushed 80+%. And, you know, Bitcoin, this is what I always say is, when in doubt, zoom out. I've done a ton of live streams about this, that we just need to take a moment and realize that this is history for Bitcoin. Bitcoin going down 80-something%, that's normal. That's history. Bitcoin has highs, it has lows, but it goes back and surpasses the all-time high. So what I really try to push is education, and that this is history for the asset. And if you can't handle the short-term volatility, then maybe it's just not for you. You have to have a long-term plan.
I feel like I'm watching the next like CNBC kind of reporter.
Oh my gosh. I can't.
Right?
Oh my gosh. So, okay, I have a couple questions. So first, I mean, I'm assuming you're not going to go to college, right? You're not in college.
Not right now, no.
Okay. Are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking about crypto. That's all I can think about.
Okay.
That's what's been occupying my mind since like 2019 when it first clicked for me. I was like, this is it. This is over. Nothing else I want to do except for this.
Yeah, that's awesome. Oh my gosh, I had another question and it just completely went. No, seriously, I had like 3 questions in my head and then that one just like went away.
It's okay.
What do your parents think about you taking what might be a gap year or finishing your education where it is now? What do they think?
Yeah, my dad's been in the space for 6 years, so he's supportive. He's the one that's educated me on this stuff. And he's, you know, he was telling me about, you know, Twitter. And I started looking at Twitter. I started following people. And then I was like, no, I want to make my own crypto account. So I made Miss Teen Crypto, and he's just been so supportive ever since. He comes to conferences with me and everything like that. So it's amazing. I'm very grateful to have a parent that understands this space and introduced me to it, which was the best part.
That's amazing. I mean, you're really fortunate to have that. Not a lot of parents A, understand it, and B, would be willing to support their children, taking a more non-traditional route in everything, right? Education, investing, personal time. That's pretty impressive. Kudos to your dad.
Right.
Well, thank you. I'll let him know. He's really the best. I'm so grateful for him.
That's awesome. So what are you going to do when you turn 20? Are you keeping Miss Teen Crypto?
Yes, I'll be 80 and be Miss Teen Crypto. Okay. I feel like Miss Teen Crypto is basically my legal name now. When people like talk to me, they don't even know my name. They're just like Miss Teen Crypto. And I'm just like, what up? Maybe when I'm 20, you could call me MTC, Randy, whatever you want. But right now, I'm always going to be Miss Teen Crypto. The handle's not going anywhere. It's just who I am now. And it's where I started. I've been doing this since I was 17. So it's just like history for me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And what do you want to do in the future? So you're not going to school. You're kind of going to do this. Is this basically like your end all be all, building a brand around Miss Teen Crypto, educating people about crypto, building a community? Is that your end all be all? Do you have greater visions of being a reporter on CNBC?
I like to, there's just so many things that can happen. I think that the possibilities are actually endless with what like life could take for me. I really love, doing on the street stuff. I really love my podcast and educating. I love going to conferences and doing workshops. So I'd love to do more of those. Of course, do media appearances. I've been on Fox Business a couple of times. I really love doing that stuff, and anything I could do with on the ground, hands-on adoption. That's what I love. And I just want to expand on everything I'm doing now, because I really feel like what I could do is just, there's just so many possibilities that it's hard to narrow it down right now, especially because every day things are changing in the space. So technology wise, what's going to be out there for me to explore in the next 2 years, even 1 year? You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was just thinking what we were talking about earlier with, you were talking about you go to the store and if your friends throw their pennies away. And I think about the transition. Remember when, you probably don't remember because you're probably too young, but when we transitioned from actual check writing to everything with
credit cards.
Mm-hmm. And I remember going to the store and when somebody pulled out their checkbook in front of you, you were just like, oh my God.
That was a thing.
Why are you writing a check? You could slide that card in 2 seconds. And now we're we're moving from where credit cards are now slower to process than what we could be doing with, Venmo or PayPal or.
Yeah. And yes, they did pay with checks, and it was very frustrating. Similar to when you stand behind someone who pays with cash. And they're literally counting exact change.
That was me today at Walmart. She's counting change. And I'm what is happening here? What is happening?
So funny. So Miss Teen Crypto, I have a question for you. So a lot of our listeners are new to the NFT space, and we're trying really hard to break it down into something that's digestible for them to understand, because we also are on a mission to bring more females specifically, but really everyone into the world of NFTs. So I want to hear from you, because we don't talk about crypto that often. I want to hear from you kind of, what is your few-minute pitch on how to break down what Bitcoin is?
Bitcoin is basically a digital cash that is owned by you, and you could be your own bank, which means that there's no middlemen and no people in between. So that way you could transact whenever, to whomever, how much you want, any time of the week, 24/7, as long as you have that internet connection. And then I feel like that's a good way to start it off, so it's not too complicated. And then you can look into the blockchain and, the appreciative part of it.
Okay, that was good. That was good, because it is hard to understand, right? It is
a little bit.
And so I did hear you say earlier that when it clicked for me, I blah 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 blah. That moment that it clicked for you, that's, I think, something that I've experienced and Minty Cell experienced, of why we got so excited about the NFT space, is because it was just words spoken to me until it clicked, and then everything made sense.
Yes.
Help me understand what that experience was for you, and who was it that that said the keywords that made it all click?
It was my dad saying it's just money. Like, it was just money. I could transact anywhere I want, like whenever I want. And that when I saw him scan my phone, I was like, okay, sure. And I saw how quickly it went through, and like I had it in my wallet. I was like, oh,
What
okay.
were you
So
guys using?
it
Do you
was
remember?
Bitcoin.
No, I mean, what
on like,
platform?
oh, I think it was a wallet, probably Trust Wallet.
Okay.
But another thing that helped click for me was when he went to Litecoin Summit 2019 and brought back a Ballet wallet. I actually have one right here in the packaging.
Oh, yeah.
It's super easy. All you have to do is like scan this little QR code here, and it's a public address. You just send crypto to it. So I was like, oh, so this could basically be like a gift card. So that was another thing that really clicked for me. And I saw like the features that you could swap for digital currency, other currencies. I was like, wow, like this is really powerful. And I saw how it was going to change the way we transact, the way we store our value, and everything like that. So it was just a whole light bulb moment.
That's amazing. And so a lot of people believe that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. Do you agree? And like, if yes or no, why?
I'm not extremely educated on the subject, but from what I hear, this is an argument that has been debunked. I consider this FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Actually, Bitcoin incentivizes renewable energy, especially like I saw a lot of things going down in Texas with renewable energy being used with Bitcoin. And even I had a good podcast with Jason Williams a while back where he was talking about how he was using tires to mine Bitcoin and things like that. It was just pretty insane. So there's so many ways that, electricity is even being wasted that we're not talking about, never mind, the problems. And even the banks, the traditional financial system, how much energy they use compared to Bitcoin. So there's just so much to unpack there, but it's mostly FUD.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. So
I'm just so impressed. I'm so impressed.
I am too. You're amazing.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Oh, love.
Back at you. So what's next for you?
What's next? Life. Everything is just like my show has been going really well, like the most amazing guests I've had on recently. So I'm just going to keep going and attend more conferences and keep hitting the streets. I want to hit the streets this weekend. I'm ready to go. There's just so much going on in my life, and I'm just so excited. That's my NFTs, my show, attending conferences. There's just so much. So yeah, the journey, it's just getting started too. So it's so exciting.
Oh, man.
So definitely, I just want to make sure everybody goes and follows Miss Teen Crypto. You can find her missteencrypto.com and YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all at Miss Teen Crypto.
Yes, all of them. Instagram, TikToks,
right.
wherever you're at.
TikTok. Oh boy, tough, sensitive subject right now. we just need to learn a lot. We've got a lot to learn in the TikTok
maybe
world.
We need to start watching you for
it's hard, to build crypto social media. It's pretty difficult. There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of resistance there.
Yeah. Well, and also, like, who has the time to do all the things that I feel like it's like this beast that is always needing to be fed.
Basically, that's social media. Yeah, it's a full-time thing. There's just, especially because the space moves pretty fast. So there's always new news. There's always, if you take 2 days off, you're gonna check Twitter and be like, oh my gosh, this happened. How didn't I know about that? So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
sure.
It really is. Yeah, cool. Well, is there anything else that you want to share with the audience, or make sure that is there like certain videos that you're like, you got to go watch this video? This is the one that's going to change your life.
Well, there's a ton of videos I want to share with you guys. I have it pretty organized on my YouTube channel, where if you go to youtube.com/MissTeenCrypto, you'll find my playlist for the Miss Teen Crypto show. I've had amazing people on, ranging from Liz Clayman from Fox Business, Tim Draper, just everybody's Charlie Lee, creator of Litecoin, Bobby Lee, creator of Ballet Wallet, Dennis Porter, just so many amazing people. I also have a playlist, 1 to 2 minute crypto videos that you guys could check out, whether that's what is Bitcoin, what is the blockchain. I have some workshops that I did. I recorded them and posted, and NFT gaming live streams. There's just so many. So definitely come check out my content. On the street videos, there's a lot going on in the space, and I try to always do live streams and things to catch up. I also, one thing I do want to share with the audience is to please take custody of your crypto. That's what I've been preaching about since I first came into this space. Please, there's so many people in trouble right now. Don't take the risk. If you have things that you don't want to lose, take your crypto off of the exchanges, off of these third parties. If you can't lose this crypto, put it into a wallet. If it's a hot wallet on your phone to get started, sure. Look into cold storage, please. That's what I want to push right now. I have videos on that.
Wholeheartedly support that message.
Yeah, that was one thing I just really wanted to talk about. It's just something that really hurts my heart. Like,
I know I have seen and heard about so many people with everything going on with all the Celsius and Voyager and what's the other one?
Terra Luna. There's a ton of platforms that went down. It's unfortunate, to be honest, but it's something that, during the bear market, when things like kind of get ugly like this, it could be a negative. I'm because people got wrecked on acknowledging that.
They're teachable moments, right?
Exactly. It's a positive because it helps us. We can't have mainstream adoption if we don't find solutions to things like this. Like, we can't have this happen. We need to filter things out, and that way we find what works, so that way this space can progress. The only way the space can progress is if things like this happen. And it's a learning curve. And even OGs in the space have gotten hurt. And this, it teaches everybody a little bit of something and just humbles us a little bit. But take custody of your crypto, please, my friends. I did a live stream the other day on Twitter and YouTube called "Did You Touch Grass Today?" Go watch it. I was talking about wallets and stuff. I have 1 to 2 minute videos on hot wallet versus cold wallet. And I believe I have what is recovery phrases as well. So if you're not sure what recovery phrases are when you first download that wallet and you get 12 to 24 words, I have a video on what that means as well. Very simple, but still, it's just the little things we need to focus on, the foundation of like crypto and what it is. We were into crypto so we could be our own bank, be self-sovereign individuals, not rely on anybody else but ourselves.
Yeah.
I love that. Wow. Your dad has
You are amazing.
Well.
No, you guys are awesome. So much love for you.
We love you.
Yeah.
We love you. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Follow. We'll be watching. We'll be following. We'll be watching your show. This is just, you've been awesome. So we would love to have you back in the future. That would be great.
Yes, let me know. 100%. You guys are so cool. Definitely. I'll be live in a few hours if you guys want to tune in.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah,
amazing.
Will do.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. You guys are so cool.
You're cool. You're cool. Come on.
So good to meet you.
Oh, same to you guys. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy we met. This is so awesome.
Yeah. And I'll message you when the show's out and all that good stuff. So
perfect. Yeah, definitely let me know. You guys are so cool. Have a great day. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. You too.
So Jen FT, I mean, Miss Teen Crypto, I truly wish I had half of like what she's got going on when I was 19.
Right? She's so cool. Like, I want to be her. I aspire to be her when I grow up. Well, I guess that ship sailed, but
I know, right?
She is so cool. And kudos to her dad, for making such a badass individual.
I can't wait. Like, I love it when we talk to young people in the space that know what is happening and they understand the future of what this can be, and they see it now. Because I feel like, I mean, it took me some time to figure it out, and I still don't have it figured out, but I can't imagine like if I knew now what I knew at 19 or 18 or whatever. And
100%.
Right. Like I can't wait to see what she does in the next 5-10 years.
Yeah, she's incredible. She's on fire, and I don't see any signs of stopping for her.
Yep.
She's got a bright future ahead of her.
Yep. So that being said, obviously we want to make sure that you're following her at Miss Teen Crypto, but also follow at the Nifty Chicks. That is at the TY Chicks, CHICKS. And you can find us on all the socials, including now TikTok. We have posted our very first video on there. So you might want to go check that out. We're going to try and do better about posting there, right, Jen FT?
That's right. That's right. We are. So if there's anything you want to see specifically, let us know. We'd love to, post anything that's of interest to you. But in the meantime, thank you so much for listening to the Nifty Chicks. Always remember, invest in yourself. You are worth it. Please listen carefully to the following disclaimer. Neither the host nor the guests of the Nifty Chicks podcast are acting in the capacity of financial advisors. We wish to remain transparent and impartial to the NFT community at all times, and therefore, the content provided by the Nifty Chicks hosts and guests are intended for general information purposes only. Nothing written or discussed by the Nifty Chicks hosts and guests should be construed or relied upon as investment, financial, legal, regulatory, accounting, tax, or similar advice. Nothing should be interpreted as a solicitation to invest in any cryptocurrency or NFT, and nothing herein should be construed as a recommendation to engage in any investment strategy or transaction. Please be advised that it is in your own best interest to consult with investment, legal, tax, or similar professionals regarding any specific situation and any prospective transaction decisions. You must do your own research when considering investing in cryptocurrencies or NFTs. We are simply sharing our journey with you as we learn more about the world of NFTs. Happy minting.